earlier, hop back on. It's all the way live, for real, for real. And I'm just going to give all those ladies that were just on a chance to hop back on this Saturday morning. It's Saturday morning in beautiful California. I saw some of my ladies that were on from some of our new ladies that have been visiting us from South Africa. They were on. I think I saw Tawadi. Ashley has to help me with the name. I'm probably not getting it right. Let me go over here in the comments section. California, I saw some of my earlier. California, I saw some. Hold on, I'm trying to get to the previous one. Don't know if it's going to let me do that because I'm just trying to say hello to some of the ladies that were on earlier. That's all. Okay, give you a chance again. I remember April was on earlier. I remember that not only did we have April on earlier, let's see some of these comments. You guys were just chatting back and forth with me. So I just wanted to hop on. Should have told you I was going to hop back on live right quick. Give the ladies a chance to come back on. I want to offer a special for every lady. So this is what we're doing. Quickly, guys, share with your friends. Share quickly. For everyone that hops on and for everyone that makes a comment in the chat, I'm going to do a very special price for you for so. Only for those that are interacting with me. We've got to elevate women to another place. Some of you have never even thought about yourself as being a lobbyist. Some of you have never thought that you could actually change a law. Esther never thought perhaps in the beginning that she could change a law. And really, when you stop and think about it, Rahab, laws were definitely changed for Rahab because in her situation, by simply housing the spies, and she literally became the great grandmother of Jesus. But when they came to the land distribution, her family was in there. So laws had never permitted for Gentiles to be able to be put in covenant with those that were receiving land. But she got things changed. For those of you that are hopping on, where we are and where I'm strong right now is elevating women from just a place of prayer, not demeaning prayer, from just a place of fasting, not demeaning fasting, but a place of we've got to shift the laws. We've got to shift policies. And how do we do that? I want to teach you. I want to show you. And that we can go down in history as being history makers, women that change the times, not women that just, I just think I've been saying it for like the last 3 months now. You look on social media and all the comments on social media. Social media has a part with the comments, but you got to move beyond even making your comments on social media because you can get sucked up into that social media world of comments and it can just mess up your head. And then you walk away and like, what changes have you really made? So I'm speaking to ladies and saying there should be something inside of you that is mandating you to move to be a woman, to bring change. So I'm giving some of you time. I can't tell through the Zoom I'm on, where we're looking at. I definitely want to make sure that I get back with April. I'm trying to speak back to not only to April. It was Alicia. I was talking to April. I was talking to Alicia. I was talking to Brenda. Brenda Deer, are you back? I'm speaking to Brenda. Brenda Deer, are you back? And her surname is Deer, D-E-E-R, but I'm speaking to Brenda Deer, D-E-A-R. Brenda, Shakina, Brenda, Ruby Williams, Eunice Anderson Jones, Angela Wynn, Angela, Eunice, Ruby. Let's see if you're still here. Cecile hopped on. Shakina, I was talking to you earlier. Shakina Luster. I said Aisha already. Let's look back here. Man, we were just chatting. And I thought, let me just hop on a chat with my sisters. I just want to connect with you guys. One of our Sylvia Coates, Sylvia's always right there. Hello, Sylvia. I hope you hop back on. Julia Schaefer. Hello, Julia, Sylvia, Brenda. And this is my friend watching from South Africa. I'm going to try this. Ashley, how do I say this? Thandiwe. Thandiwe, Mamkeli, Mamkele. I don't want to crucify your name. I so want to do it right because I love South Africa so much and want to welcome you as you are. Hopefully, I guess you guys are still celebrating your Heritage Weekend. I know it started like on Thursday or Friday, but I guess you saw my South African outfit honoring Heritage Weekend, your Heritage Day. And I know a lot of people doing their brides right now in South Africa and enjoying the remainder of your day that's left. So quickly, I want to get you guys to go over to the Facebook page because I didn't prep Ashton to show some of the videos of our speakers, but some of you are not aware of the caliber of women that we have and the spectrum. I've been speaking a lot about the legislating part, the lobbying part, getting laws changed. That's a component, but we have an equal component put together for women that are working from home, women that are still homemakers, still raising children, raising up champions, raising up future emerging leaders. I want to speak to the total woman so women can be balanced and not be, too off in one particular area, not have a well-rounded view. So we have in the segment of this dealing with us in our home, we're dealing with getting our home organized, getting our calendars organized, getting our days. Pastor Winston says it this way. He talked about like having a supernatural schedule, having a supernatural blueprint for the day, a supernatural blueprint for the day by praying in the Holy Spirit in the morning, starting the day out with prayer in the morning. Got something on the screen here that's bugging me. I'm one of those people that's probably a personality for sure. But scheduling our day, knowing where we're going, having a blueprint. And I'm trying to think of the word that he called it. It's like a supernatural divine blueprint for the day, where he talked about how God will, by praying in the Holy Spirit, you'll be able to cut off things that would normally the enemy has set up. You've already prayed in the Spirit and you've dealt with it. And then just having things organized to the point with also for those that are schooling kids at home. So we're dealing with education. We're dealing with those that are schooling at home, getting your life in order, get your home in order, organizing your house, because some of the things, you women that are listening right now, some of you hopped on where God is taking you. And I've been saying this to my team, the organizational structure that was required and was okay for the last season, this season is requiring another level of organization, because there's going to be back-to-back meetings. There'll be things that are spontaneous, like this morning wasn't planned, that is spontaneous, that open door opportunities or different doors that open up, and you got to be ready. You got to be ready. So you want to have as much as you can, things that you can predict, that you can have those things in order and have those things together. So when opportunity comes, you can just grab your stuff and be ready to go. Also with that segment that we have, for those that are the millennials part, that are women that are still raising children, that are working from the home, we're going to be talking about the food. Right now, we need to pay attention to what we put in our bodies right now. Why is it important for us to pay attention to what we put in our bodies right now? Simply because we don't know what's coming down the tube. We don't know. Is everything okay, Brandy? I didn't get a response. Is everything okay? Just keep talking. We can't control what's happening atmospherically around us. In the natural, we can't control it. We know we can control it in the spirit, but what we can control, we can build up our own immune system. We can make sure that our families have their immune system built up, because that's God's internal way for the body, and that he gave us as an internal way of fighting off all of these things. And so we don't want to be and then not only that, we have specialists that's going to be talking to us about not only natural things and foods that we can do to naturally build up the immune system of our body so the body can fight for itself. But even as they start talking about this vaccination, we want people to be very educated about the choice you make for your family's protection. So that whole segment represents the family. So we're going to be hitting different mountains, this mountain of government and education and legislation and all that. But then we're going to be talking about the home and the family, which covers the family as well. We also have someone, Lanika Scott, that's going to be dealing with the financial mountain as the millionaire mom, who is an entrepreneur, and she's made other millionaires. And so there are many women right now that have a passion. Some of you don't want to go back to work in the sense of going back in the office. Well, even if the company decides to go back, we want to help you get things in order and help you posture yourself to be able to that business you always wanted to do. Chevelle, I don't know if you watch it, but many of you wanted to launch that business. This is a good time. Some women may not go back to the office. And so those who want to stay at home, work from home, launch the business that God gave you, helping you to develop the different streams of income so that you can be there to spend more time with your family. The innovative woman is to touch every last spectrum, every last part of that. And we also have, of course, I'm going to be dealing with the principalities that really hit us. My Periscope page, they hit it because we're addressing those things that are affecting our children. We keep saying over and over and over, protect our children, protect our children, protect our children. As a mother bear, we have a right to fight and say that we don't want certain views to be taught to our children. And we're not necessarily demeaning or attacking or trying to insult someone else's choice. They have a right to their choice. We're just simply saying, as for me and my house, we have a constitutional standard for our house. There are women that are watching this morning. One of our dear friends who's now getting ready to help me in the area of administrating, take the administrative role of our ministry, Bridget Shaw. The Lord had already been speaking to her about elevation. There are other women that God's been talking to you about elevation. And in elevation, think about it with Esther. God was knocking on Esther's door and saying, hey, you need to step up your game. You're already the queen. You're already in the palace. You already have all your needs met. So it could have been in her thinking and in the culture of the day, it could have been like she was at the top of the game. She was on top of her A game. She had reached the epic, the epitome. I mean, the queen, the king's wife, the queen. I mean, how much higher could you get as far as elevation? But God's elevation and man's elevation is two different things. God was literally challenging her to come up higher, to not just be seated in that position for what benefited Esther and everything that Esther got out of it, but he was challenging her to change. He was challenging her to shift her priorities, to shift her focus. He was challenging her to shift everything that had once been her value system, her priority. I don't think some of you are listening to me. I'm saying right now, for where God is taking us, there are many women right now, the dealings of God are upon you. He's dealing with you to change. He's dealing with you to grow. He's dealing with you to shift. Just think about it. For 2021, even the month of November, and for the next months to come, none of us in the natural know what we're going to be facing. So we don't want to be like those 5 foolish virgins that didn't keep oil in their lamp. I was just sharing with my project manager this morning, Chevelle. I was like, when things shift, I think I was sharing it with Ashton in the wee hours in the morning, because I was up at 3:00 this morning talking to Ashton, talking to Terry, talking to Chevelle. And when things shift and when God begins to move and when God begins to demonstrate his power and when there begins to be the glory of the Lord that he promised in Isaiah, the 60th chapter, you don't need to go. And not only, so that's the glory part, but let's look at this part too. The warfare part, when the warfare happens, you don't have time to go running like, oh, I don't have enough word in. I didn't spend enough time in the word. I'm not prayed up. I'm not word up. I don't have any oil in my lamp. You don't have time. I don't want anybody fighting with me. Your tank on empty. Like when he hits, because you don't know when the enemy is going to try to hit, you want to already be on full. You want to already be like, my oil is trimmed in my lamp. It's on full. I'm ready for the battle. Whatever the enemy comes with, I'm ready for the battle. I'm having to minister tomorrow in San Fernando Valley area, out in the valley. And I was saying, like, I've been giving out a lot this week. I've been emptying out a lot this week. So I know today I need to take this time and let it be a word day, pumping myself back up in the word that I'm talking about. Some of you have been doing like these little cute little devotions in the morning where you do a little cute devotion and you just take your little shower prayer, like, you've done your little 15 minutes and you're out. I'm telling you, what you're facing is going to require more, especially when he starts hitting your family and he starts trying to come after your finances. And when he starts trying to come after your mind and your family, you need to have enough oil in your lamp, not just for your household, not just for your family. But on my yesterday, I got hit with phone calls with people that were dealing with devastating, life-altering decisions, life-altering challenges. And so I needed to have enough oil in the lamp for me, my house, and my family. If you can stop and Brandy's distracting me. But then also I needed to have enough oil in my lamp to war for somebody else. How selfish, ladies, how selfish to just have enough oil in your lamp just for you and your house. So what am I saying to you? If the amount of time you were spending in the particular scriptures you were meditating upon, and let's hit that. How many of us are really meditating? I mean, when I say meditating, taking one verse. Let's keep it real. Can this be the raw, real session? Can we call this keeping it raw and keeping it transparent and keeping it real with Dr. Bailey? When it comes to meditating, just taking one verse that the Holy Spirit leads you to, and I'm staying on this one verse, maybe for a whole week, for hours, just meditating, getting the Greek, getting the Hebrew, getting the Webster's Dictionary, getting different Bible translations of that one verse, and then pondering that one verse. Let's choose this one. Righteousness exalteth a nation. Here's another one. I'm going to help you with some. A wise woman builds her house with her words. Take those, meditate those. Let's even take the one that we just gave with the 5 foolish virgins and the wise virgins, that you want to be the ones who keep their oil trimmed in lamp. Take that, break it down. What are you really saying, God? What's all in this? What are you really saying to us as women concerning the 5 who, let's look at the 5 who just were so busy about what everybody else was doing or whatever they wanted to do. And remember the parable of the story. Nobody knew when the bridegroom was coming. Nobody knew. There was no notice saying he's coming at this time. But 5 of them out of the 10, 5 were walking in a type of frequency. They were walking in a type of sensitivity that though everybody else operating and marching to a different drum beat, they were sensing the bridegroom was about to come. The bridegroom is about to come. So they kept their stuff together. They stepped up their game. Now let's shift back over to Esther. She thought she was at the top of her game. And God knocked on her door through Mordecai and says, no, you've got your focus. Your view is off. You're not here for you. You are not elevated for you. You're here for such a time as this, for a higher agenda that I have for you to rescue your people. People right now, with everything happening around with this out there, from that K2 synthetic marijuana drug that's making people walk around like zombies. For those of you from South Africa, it looks and acts and it responds just like Niobe, the drug that's there. To the children that are questioning and people that are questioning identity, to the laws that are endeavoring to be legislated on the docs and on the books that we know that are unjust, non-biblical constitutional laws, to the pandemic, to the decisions that are making with the vaccination, to the decisions that are making with school. If there's ever a time the world is calling on women, it's now. So this right now is saying, what do you need to do? We put together a conclave. We put together a think tank. We put together a complete closed round table session of some of these women. These are thinkers. They have their stuff together. They're thinkers. And can we at least, Brandon, if you can hand me that mirror right there, right quick as a prop, can we at least examine ourselves and say, I can tell when my stuff is not together and I need to step it up. So guess what? Instead of you having to try to go pull it together, we've pulled it together for you. I'm talking right now to April. I'm talking right now to Tandiwi. I'm talking to Brenda. I'm talking to Julia. I'm talking to Sylvia and April. I'm talking to Marie Stevens. I'm talking to Latanya Wallace. I'm talking to Blanche Frederick. I'm talking to Shakina Luster. I'm there. I know I'm speaking to you. I said April already. I'm speaking to you. I'm speaking to every last one of you. And those of you that just hopped on, can we, this mirror, not really clean because I know it's going to use it as a prop, got my little smudges on it, but one side of it is a magnified side and the other side is a regular mirror. Some of us been looking and getting ready every day and living our life looking at this side of the mirror. It's not a magnified side. And guess what? Looking at this side, it looks like you pretty much got it together until you flip it over and you look at the magnified side. Ooh, Lord. And you find out eyeliner could have been better. Brows could have been better. Lip line. I mean, you see what I'm saying? I'm looking at the minute details of things that look like on this side was in order until we looked into the law. And guess what that mirror is according to the word of God? It's called the law of liberty. We look into that perfect law of liberty, the word of God, and it magnifies and it shows us where we need to get our act together so that we can be meat for the master's use. That's what the Innovative Woman on October the 2nd to the 4th is going to be. The women, Lanika Scott, who's representing the entrepreneur side, Dr. Pearl Coupe, who represents the judicial side and helping us to learn how to legislate and to lobby. Janet Wynn, who's worked with not this present White House administration, but she worked with 3 previous White House administrations. She, as I said, negotiated the Osama bin Laden letters, which led to his capture. Women like Charissa Monroe, who grew up and was groomed with diplomacy. You're talking about a woman of grace and of etiquette and understands protocol and understands diplomacy. Her parents raised her up for such a time as this. She grew up being all around International Third World Leadership Association and had to, as a millennial or a Z or Y, find her place for her generation and not live according to what someone else's expectation was for her assignment and her calling, but to find her own assignment and calling and live that out. Then Dr. Michelle, my dear friend, Dr. Michelle McKinney Hammond, who by in every right when it comes to relationships, when it comes to leadership, best-selling author, is going to speak to us about the times and preparing and how to live out these times that we're living in right now. And then the ambassador herself, Ambassador Yvonne from Kenya, who was one of the youngest ambassadors that had to fight physically for her life, Kamati had to fight for her life. They literally tried to kill her and to keep her out of the office that she ran and won, and not only ran and won, but became the ambassador to her nation. Then we have Dr. Billow, Dr. Brooks Billow, when it comes to human trafficking, and she's bringing such understanding and revelation and showing us how we can get involved. A woman that has her own farm, that's taking young girls off the street, a woman that is not a victim. She doesn't consider herself a victim or survivor, but she literally at the age of 11 was put out on the streets to prostitute, so many different forced abortions that she's not able to have children herself. All of these videos are on my Facebook page. And some of you that are watching right now, the circle of women that you're around, I'm asking friends, I'm asking those I'm mentoring, I'm asking you, who are the friends and the circle of people around you? Let me examine the spiritual life of your friends. Let me examine the financial life of your friends. Let me examine examine the commitment life, the disciplined life, the organized life, the spiritual life of those that are in your circumference, those that are around you. Those that are around you, in your circle around you, they are making up who you are. They are affecting your choices, your habits, your character, your culture, your outcome. So some of you, you're open right now and need a new circle of friends that will challenge you like iron sharpens iron, challenge you on another level. My friend, Dr. Pearl Coupe, she said, I'm getting ready to put you on the spot when we go live about this area, this area, and this area. And I'm like, bring it on. Because guess what? That's what I want. I want to change. I want to grow. I want to be better. So this setting, that weekend of October the 2nd through the 4th, and we have it so put together that even if that weekend doesn't work for you, you're not able to be there the whole time. Once you get in and you get into the conclave, you're going to have access to all the very, very same things. And the price that we've made it is completely ridiculously unbelievable. And you get all the downloads and all the information. Also, not only that, Brenda, if you can bring up the flyers for me, because I don't think you're able to put them up on the screen because I didn't ask you to have that ready. But if you pull up the flyers, so I'll make sure I'm not leaving out any of the speakers. There is a $499. Oh, I forgot before I go there. The one just came to my mind when I asked Brenda to do that. My daughter-in-law, I shared about the part that they're going to be doing from the garden to the table and that whole family part for herself. And then that's Mignonette Bailey. And then Christine Hayworth is going to be sharing from a woman who's operating as a modern day Esther in the area of humanitarian aid and bringing development, community development to the nations of the earth, not just our community, but to the nations of the earth. Some of you still see your ministry called to the United States, still see your ministry reach being the country you were born in, but you were called by God to reach outside the boundaries of your own country. So outside the boundaries of your own country. So that's Mignonette. I almost forgot that. Brandy's pulling up the other flyers. Also, Tammy Watson, who does the Vision Big Club, she's going to do a little piece there. And when Brandy pulls up the other ones, I'll make sure that I got all the speakers because there's so many. It's about 15 different speakers. We have Wally Akiyemi, Brother Wally, who is the absolute talk about on top of his A game. Some of you remember when we had him before on the Vision Club, and we've been putting him on our Facebook page as well. A man that lost $6 million and was able to come back after a $6 million US loss. and just amazing and incredible motivational speaker. Did I leave anybody out? That was Tammy Lanico. Yes, I did, Brandy. Look close. Jennifer. That's why I said pull them up for me. Jennifer Cruz. Jennifer Cruz, who was the former Miss Illinois, and she's going to be teaching us about battling for the seed. Battling for the seed. And when you go to the Facebook page, they're there. And it's not just an area in one particular. We brought together a conclave that's not just hitting one area, but when you walk away, it's going to be a complete holistic approach of development, a holistic approach of change that we can walk away and not a conference, not a seminar, but a closed think tank conclave. Now, where I was going before I was asking for my flyers is this. We are putting together a $499 special for the from the Financial Transformation Institute, my phone with the flyers, the Financial Transformation Institute, which it's going to deal with, we pull courses from that for your finances. So then after these 3 days are over and you walk away and in the comfort of your own home and in your own time, you can take the time and go over the things, the courses that we're going to offer from the Financial Transformation Institute, courses that we're going to pull from the Global Leadership Training Institute. So how to learn things more, etiquette and diplomacy, and just how to present yourself to be able to sit at the table with dignitaries and learning diplomacy and just learning, even understanding worldviews. That's why we're doing the global leadership training piece. So you can pull and learn and understand worldviews. And then we got the piece for the finances, but then in your everyday, simple daily disciplines of developing your character and growing up as a woman and maturing in your character as a woman so that you can be ready for that next level. As the example we gave with Esther, she had to be groomed with etiquette for the next level. Where she was before didn't work with where God was taking her for the palace. So that's the part from the master class that I did at Living Word Christian Center under the tutelage of my pastor, Dr. Bill Winston. And in that session of the master class, we pull courses out of that that's going to help you with the simple daily disciplines of organization and accountability and character development. Those as well. That entire package is like a $499 package, almost a $500 package. That's your gift, free from us, from me, because after those 3 days are over, I want you to have something that you can sit in your library, in your home, and just sit and go through them and go through them and go through them. That's absolutely free. What is the package for so? It's $99 for the 3-day weekend with all those 15 instructors. We got them pulled up, Brandy. And once we go through every last one of them with each one of those instructors, you're already going to have that. Plus, you're going to be able to take those sessions, all of those sessions, and go back and look at them again and again and again and again. So you have all of those from those different institutions, all those different institutions of learning that we're giving to you free, plus what you get over the weekend. And then you're going to be brought in a circle where you're going to get to interact, ask questions, meet new women like, oh, I've always had a passion for human trafficking. I didn't have anybody else that had a passion for that. I've always had a passion for those in foster care. I didn't have anybody else to talk to me about those type of things that take me to the next level, where you're going to now meet with women that can sharpen you and take you to the next level. And so perhaps some of you in areas that you haven't had anybody else that you knew that had an interest in that particular area. So you don't want to miss it, October the 2nd through the 4th. I want every last woman that goes into the chat today, even though that's the price, I'm not going to tell you what I'm going to offer you. You got to go to the chat. Let me hear you say, Doc, I want in, I want to be a part. And once I see, I'm going to respond to you. My people are going to respond to you. And we're going to put something together special just for you, because I believe that there's a place at the table for you. So April, I want to hear from you. My dear sister from South Africa, I want to hear from you. Brenda, I want to hear from you, because my friend Pearl said, what we're going to do, Doc, it's not just that weekend. This is not a sprint. We're putting together a network of women who believe that we are in time, modern day changes, world changes, history makers. Latanya Brock, we left her out as well. So it's just a whole plethora. When you go to the Facebook page, you should see them all there. And then here's the number you can call. You ready? You're going to call 336-782-1228, 336-782-1228. Again, that number is 336-782-1228. October the 2nd through the 4th. You don't want to miss it. All through the day, I asked Terry to just play the videos of our speakers all through the day on my Facebook page. And those of you that are watching right now, we got a little quick short-term goal for this weekend. I think on my YouTube channel, I'm like 4,600, and I think they told me like about 60. I need 40 of you that may be watching now or watching during the course as this plays through the day. And those that are even on Facebook right now. April, I need you to help me. Brenda, I need you to help me. Every last one of you that I just called out your names, and the ones that are watching, even if I didn't call your name, Michelle, I need you guys to immediately go over to YouTube and subscribe to my channel. I got a goal today to hit 4,700. We only need 40 people. So help a sister out, okay? You're going to go to, just simply type in YouTube, you're going to type in Pat Bailey, just my name, Pat Bailey. When you type in Pat Bailey, just do two things. I'm not asking for any money. Push subscribe and hit the notification button. That's all. Subscribe, hit the notification button. And while you're there, make a comment, do a like. But if you could do a one little step next that would that would just help us push out this platform so we can have a broader voice and a stronger reach and a broader reach. If you can take that same link where you subscribe and share that link with 2 or 3 of your other friends that you know that will be blessed by the type of ministry, the type of work that we're doing, and perhaps would like to be a part of what we're doing, or would at least like to receive, because it's a whole library, a whole channel of free teachings, tons and tons and tons of teachings on that, sermons, messages, how-tos on that channel, absolutely free, just for you. So would you do that for me today? And hopefully by the end of the day, I may hop back on again and celebrate. Guys, we made 4,700. We got there, and we only need 40 people to help me do that. Would you hop over there and do that right now on the YouTube channel? And if you would be kind enough and go do the same thing for Instagram, that'd be great. But at least we want to hit the 47 with the YouTube channel. That's what I got for you ladies today. I'm expecting your phone call, 336-782-1228. I know you guys think nobody does that anymore, talks on the phone, but we have a number that's set up. And then some of you can send me a direct message. Those of you with Facebook and Messenger, I want to hear from you. I'm going to literally respond. As soon as this ends, I'm going to respond back to you. I'm raising up an army. We're building an army, because we're not going to sit back and allow things to happen on our watch and just accept it, and as if we don't have an alternative. The alternative is the word of God. And we are the ones in this day, in this age, in this time, to be the gatekeepers and to determine what the future shall be for our children and our children's children. It's a particular type of woman that is called to this. This is, and I'm not saying it in insult, in endeavoring to insult, but this is for women that they don't mind shouting in the church. They don't mind getting their praise on. But after that praise and worship is over, and after the prayer is over, and after the fasting is over, these are the women that says, but now where do we go from here? Because with Esther, after she fasted and after she prayed, she got the laws changed. So that's what we have to do. That's the only missing part on this front for us as believers that we have not mastered. And that is learning how to lobby and getting the laws changed so that our seed and our seed and our seed's seed can live the life that mirrors the Constitution of the Word of God, and at least being able to protect their right. As I go out today, I want us to understand the powerful part about building up these platforms, because what they are doing now, anytime you say something against gender or against certain orientations or anything that's political, they're shutting your site down. And so we have to raise up an army and even start taking people over to my website, which is patriciabailey.org, because on that website, you have more liberty to share. And then, of course, when we come into Zoom and when we come into this, why we're calling it a closed conclave, because there are things we need to address in that closed conclave. There's strategies that we need to put together in that closed conclave that we cannot discuss publicly. Are you ladies hearing me? This is for those who have ears to hear. So can't wait to hear from you through either. I'm giving you 3 different ways. You can call me at 336-782-1228. I hopped on right quick just to share that. Or you can, and those of you that are out of the country, it's a WhatsApp call. It's not paying for an international law call. It's a WhatsApp call, 336-782-1228. Also, you can on Instagram, official Dr. Pat Bailey. Did I say it right, Brandy? Is that what it is? Official Dr. Pat Bailey on Instagram. You can talk to me through Instagram. I'm waiting to hear from you. And I want us to come together and let's covenant together like Esther got her group of women together with her. I need what you have. And I trust that I have something that can impart into you, because I certainly know that these caliber of women, Ambassador Kamati, Dr. Pearl Coupe, Janet McElliott, Carissa Monroe, the whole, I mean, the education on Brittany Rush. I don't know if I mentioned Brittany's name because I never got a flyer, but Brittany's name as well, Brittany Rush. It is some incredible, incredible women that are coming together. And I know that when we walk away, we're going to see some systemic change. We're going to put things in place that's going to bring systemic change. So can't wait to see you. And again, there's a place at the table for you. Can't wait to hear from you. This is Dr. Pat, and this is all I have for you today. Can't wait to hear from you. God bless.